Welcome to the second lecture. This one will be done by Fido. Yours
Hello.
truly will only greet you. Uh, I hope you learn a lot about Blender. It's really useful for modding. And, well, have fun. Fido, I'm leaving all the job to you. I hope I hope you'll have fun too, in a way. So, well, thank Fido for this one, and hope
Yes.
you have fun.
All right. Thank you, Parma. I guess introduction should be be said. I'm Fido, also known as Aishi Shivri. So, what are we gonna learn today? Is pretty much two things. A bit of some controls or what stuff do in Blender. Blender introductions, and the second part we're gonna learn how to make a simple model. And to be honest, there's so many ways of making a model that I can't even explain in this lecture. So based based off my own experience, I've come up with three ways of making it. Right. Before anything, what's Blender? Well, Blender is a 3D program that you can make, and it's completely free. You can download it in Steam or download it standalone. And I guess the first thing you should know is what version of Blender you should get. The latest version of Blender is around 4.0, but I highly recommend trying to get the 3.6 version. Like if you see right here, 3.6.5. That's because it's a later version of Blender. There's a lot of what you call tutorials that supports it. 4.0 is like its own newer version. That's hardly any tutorial showing what stuff do. And I guess I could say like when you start Blender, you will be welcomed by a cube. Like you know, every single time you open up Blender. Um, so pretty much let's go on with the controls. You can grab it and pretty much you can delete it. There you go. The cube is gone. Can bring him back, and there you go. The cube is back. Um, if you are wondering about the controls and everything, don't worry. You will learn the shortcuts. Like eventually when you try making the model and everything, but you can look to the side over here because we have the controls of going like trying to grab it around left and right. There's rotation, position, and even scale. And you can even go with having everything active. So yeah. Also, a cool, neat thing about this gizmo kind of thing is if you lock a certain axis, like for example, location, you can see it's gone. So there you go. It's only locked to rotation right now. So yeah, even if I try to grab it, it doesn't let me. So it's a neat thing that you can do when you're trying to animate or something. But let me turn that back. Now let's go to edit mode. Edit mode is wait a second. Um wait a second. There we go. Um I didn't know this you guys can see this, right? This button, this thing. Let me I didn't know it resets its position, so let me There you go. Yep. Yeah, the cube is gone. Yep. So if you guys are wondering what I'm trying, the shortcuts, there you go. You can see it over here. I mean, if you guys want it bigger, it's completely fine. I can do it. Um, make it unseeable. So there you go. Is this good? Is this a good size over here? All right. So in the recording, if you might want to know what shortcut I use, just look over here. So right. Um, so now we can go to the edit mode. You can see tab. So same thing. If you wanna know what you're trying to do, just look over here and you can pull it. You can see what all the transformation and what it do, what it does. Rotate, scale, the same thing. Annotate is a bit special because you can um, draw stuff. You can draw stuff on it, and you can draft a design first, and then you can make it. It's also in 3D space, which is also nice. And another thing is, so every single thing that has an arrow, like so annotate has an arrow. If you hold it, you can change the mode. The mode of it. So some has it. Some doesn't. Um, I'm not gonna tell you every single thing that each of the what you call transformation do. It's up to you to explore what everything is. Um, Now let me do this again. So next is pretty much this part over here, above here. So this is very, very important on this part. There's 3 of them, and you can control with. I think there are shortcuts for them, but normally you don't have to. These are for vertices. This is what Parma meant by vertices. When this is the vertices, and when they are connected, they became like a polygon. Or meanwhile, right now it's a quad, and if it's a triangle, we call it tris or trice. You know. So right now, even you can see right here, there's 12 triangles. Yeah. Don't mind this because it's also looking around on all of my scenes here. That's why it's showing a lot. But yeah, if there's 3 lines, that's a triangle, and that it's a quad, a square if it's has 4 lines. So that's pretty much it. And so back to what this are. So this is mostly for working around vertices, you know. Meanwhile, if it's the second one, is you work with lines instead. Like, see how I can't select the vertices anymore? I can only select in betweens of them. And the third is only surface. Yeah, there you go. It's very useful when you're trying to make the shape of the model. And the first one literally helps within like details. The the third one is mostly for trying to make the shape right. And the other parts are, view select. It's mostly, uh trying to help you know what you're trying to do. Like, oh, I want to add a new cube, a new plane, a new cube right here, over here. It's gonna be okay. He has a friend now, you know. And then we're gonna add another, maybe a circle or a square, a UV sphere, There you go. And then the sphere died, so that's good. Okay, let's move on. And everything is just the same thing. You just have to try it out. Like vertices are like the operation you can do for the model, and even if you there's another way if you don't wanna go like, oh, I wanna like there are some vertices that you can like smoothen the vertices. You're trying to make it smoother, like this. Let me grab this and then go to the vertex and smooth it. So now rather than being jagged like a zigzag, it's trying to smooth it. So I can over here I can also change what everything is, you know. But if I don't want to go here, I can press spacebar. Um, so I forgot to mention when you first open up Blender, it will pop up like a screen that it will ask about, do you wanna have it left click or right click? I changed mine to right click as a selection because I'm used to it because of different programs having different things. And spacebar to search bar. By default, the spacebar is a play button for this part over here. But I recommend changing the spacebar from a play button to a search bar so that whenever you want to do something, like example this again, type in smooth and then you will see all the available um, things that you can do, right? Um, also, yeah, since this is for vertex, edges, faces, and everything are the same thing. They have their own properties, their own thing. Like for example, if I click on faces, um, I can grab this. You know, we know that's UV. I can let me see. You know, a triangulate will be a thing that you want to do for your um models when you try to mod it into SK, because SK prefer triangles instead of quads, but it's easier to model with quads instead. So before trying to change before prepping it into a SK model, um, make it into a quad first, and when you're ready, just select everything. Select everything with Control L, and then triangle. No, not triangle to quads. Triangle to faces. There you go. Now, if you put it into SK, it's not gonna cause any kind of problem. So yeah. UV we will talk about it after this. After we look on how to make models and stuff. It's gonna be okay. Over here, this is for most for trying to positional of the models and stuff. There's global, there's local, and everything. I think this is very useful when you're trying to change the position of your bones, like the animation and stuff. But for modeling, it's not that much. I think I'd never change this at all. Um, Next is the origin, like origin of the models and everything. So right now it's in bounding box. So there's this invisible box that exists here. I mean, I could enable it right now. Where is it? Um, uh, is it under properties somewhere? Display wireframes. No. Um, Bounce. Ah, there we go. So bounding box is this thing, like this square thing. This is the imaginary bounding box that is, trying to change and everything. You know. So you can ignore this, but But the cool thing about this is that if you go to individual, it's basically the individual faces of the model. So if I do if I go back to normal, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be normal. But if it's a individual, how do I wait? Uh, it's inset faces, right? I'm trying to explain something, but uh, yeah, like every if you select it, it has like this origin place, like of its own thing. So um, I'm trying to show like an example, but it's not letting me. Or maybe it's like oh, there we go. Yeah, like this. Like it's not sharing. Like if I turn back and do this, like see, so they share the same bounding box, but if I set it to individual, they have their own bounding box. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And there's other things that you can try, but and also 3D cursor. The 3D cursor is this thing. I can move it around because I can, and Shift C to have it go back to the original port. But I have it here around because I can since I can change around. This is the origin of this thing, so I can you know go here, making it like that. You know, it's gonna be fine. Shift S. Nope, not Shift S. Shift C. There we go. Um, After that, we have this thing over here, a magnet. This is very important when you're trying to make position the model itself. So if I get outside of the edit mode, so you know how you can grab it around and then um, you can wait, you can move it like this. So if you press Control, you can move it incrementally based on the axis here. And there's other stuff like project near faces. Project near faces is mostly for let me make a new cube. Where's the cube? There's a cube. So let me get the project near faces and have it there. So make sure the magnet is active. So now it's trying to put the thing on a flat surface. This is very good because if you want to have something special and have it put on top of this polygon, it will snap onto it. So it's trying, but since it's not a very good geometry on it, so it's struggling. As well as if I change this, let me put it here, and then Control A, make it so that no spacebar set. See how it's easy like that. Set origin to 3D cursor. Now I can grab this, and it's a bit better now. It's because it's based on the origin point on the snapping thing. Like I'm trying to move my mouse, but it's trying its best. So go back to incremental, turn off the magnet. So right, the best I guess property that above here is this thing. It's called proportional editing because you know what? Let me just kill everything. There you go. I kill everything. Let us bring a cylinder. That doesn't look pretty. Let me that with a cylinder. Is Parma here? Parma here? Parma isn't here. Right. So about proportional editing. So proportional editing is pretty much if you select vertices. Like normally you can only grab one by one. See how it looks like this. And same goes to every single version of it. You know, you can only grab one surface and everything. But if you have proportional editing, you can now, and also you have to move your scroll bar, scroll wheel. So you can now grab it. You can grab more than one vertices now. So this is very helpful when you try to make a certain shape. So let us do that. We can do this, that, and then since we want to smooth it out, we can just immediately put the subdivision. There you go, and then also have it smooth. How to say shit smooth? There you go. Now we have like a mug or something. Yeah. Also, am I? Yeah. Oh, there you go. Forgot to change the thing. Now, if you wanna have like a thick mug, you know, a thick cylinder, there you go. Yeah, it's a cylinder. Okay. The question is, yeah, a cylinder. Okay. So you might be wondering why did I make the cylinder? So it's because it's gonna be easier if I gonna show you over here next. Um, so now we can go to the right side of the Blender controls. So over here are pretty much the viewport of what you can see in the, over here. You can turn stuff off, like the mesh itself. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And this, almost the same thing, but it's for this gizmo over here, you know. And here are the overlays that you can have on the model itself. And for example, you want to see the wireframe of this model, you can have it on. See? And over here is these are very good because they change how you see if when you look at the model. Like with this, there's no shaders, it's just the model itself. And if you click on the arrow part, there's other stuff you can do. You can change it to a matte cap, you can change the colors and stuff, the how the shader works. Because I let me find it. So because I made it smooth right now, see that there's reflective. That's the reason why I made it into a cylinder, so it's going to be fine. But yeah, you can have it make it look better. But and also if you're like if you ever done sculpting, you can get a clay looking one to trick yourself that it's clay or not or something. And we have this version of it. This is more like what do you call an X-ray version. And then this is the um, X-ray toggle, like you can see inside of it. But the problem is you can't see the shading anymore. But it's gonna be difficult when you try to model it like this. But it is great when you're trying to find a problem, like having, for example, you have too many vertices, like you have an overlapping point somewhere right here, but you don't know where it is. So wireframe So wireframe is a good thing for you to find it. So let me turn it off again. Yep. And here is the shading. A bit more to the shading. There's only here. There's when it has a this Blender has like in this viewport. There's a hidden light source over here that shines on this model, and it's completely normal. You just make it look like this, you know, very standard. And over here, this is the render viewport. Right now, it looks like this because there's no lighting at all. There's no light. We have to add our own light to make it look pretty and stuff. Yep, that's pretty much all over here. And this part, like on this right area over here, these are technically like mods or add-ons for Blender. Add-ons are stuff that can improve your workflow on a model. You know, have stuff for editing, for like this thing, like I have right here. This is also a mod. Yeah, that's pretty much it. These are just mods that you can have to help with making models and stuff. And right here is just making everything neat and tidy. You know, uh, I'll show my previous works later, but I put a lot of examples right here just to make it tidy a bit. And I guess the last part I should say is this thing over here. Since this is to manipulate the model, like trying to grab it around and stuff, you know, grab it, everything. This thing we add modifiers on itself. Like this is a like I put a modifier to make it smooth because if I turn it off, it still has the jagged part, but since I want it smoother, I can have a subdivision surface to make it even smoother. And there's so many other stuff like modifier you can have, like over here there's solidify, there's you will learn each one that will help you most of the time. There's even physics to make. So for example, you want to try to make like flow physics. Yeah, Blender also have this. There's also fluid physics. And where's the thing, there we go. Scroll down a bit. Yeah, wave. And we also have this, you know if you want to make the cylinder jiggle or something. Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty much it for the Blender tutorial. Is there any question? Yeah, Blender has a lot of things because look at this way. Blender is like a 3D, a free 3D software that of itself, that like it's built on add-ons of add-ons of add-ons. And you're bound to find something that you can do in Blender. Show my work, someone has sent to Blender compatibilities. Yeah, we show that. I'm just showing the controls first. Um, to be honest, the Spire Knight skeleton, I make my own skeletons and I don't use the SK skeleton. But I do have a model that uses the same scaling, you know? Unfortunately, I'm not gonna go too in depth about rigging because since I am here to just talk about how to make a model for SK modding, so I'm not gonna talk about a lot in rigging. How to rig and how to change and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. I know. It's okay. It's okay. Right. It's already 40 minutes. Jeez. Like, okay. Next, let's go with how to make a model. This is pretty much what you guys kind of come here for, to make a model and stuff. So I have 3 ways of making a model. The first one is render. There you go. The first one is let me turn it off. Is grabbing an existing model and then putting a 3D model on top of it. So this is the silk wing that I made from a concept that Ian made, and Viper, Sono Viper was it? Sono Viper, who made it into a mod for me. So unfortunately, I'm sorry that I'm not a modder. I am just a modeler, not a modder. But yeah, a very easy way is just have an existing model and then edit the heck out of it. you know, even this, like, look at this. I don't know how I made this a couple of years ago, but I do recommend this way because it's easier to do because you already have an existing model. It's just you're cleaning it so that you're make it ready for whenever you try to mod it. And is it because of the lighting? Yeah, it is because of the lighting. So yeah, this is my character. I even put my own scarf on the model, and oh, because I have this one. Yeah. So right, we have the first way of doing it. We have um getting the same like a model from the game, and then you change it a bit. You know, like how this is originally a skirt. No, not a skirt. The sarong model, and then I kind of overlaid some um shapes on it to make it into a skirt, and here and there added a bow, added some strings. The headpiece was also the same thing, and I changed it a bit, adding some textures here and there. That's the first one that you could do from like starting out. Like um, let me let me hide it. For example, you want to make like bracelet or something. You can grab a bit of the shapes and stuff and make it from this area, or just grab a cylinder and put it on this thing. And yeah, same goes. Oh yeah, if you want to look at my rig, this is my own rig that I made. you know if you look at, I don't have the game rig on me because it's a bit weird. But if you have problems seeing it inside of it, it's probably because you have to go here around data, like this stick man trying to run away kind of looking icon. Yeah, this guy. Maybe he's dancing. I don't know. But over in the viewport display, we have in front, so that you it's behind the model, it's in front of the model. Best just put it in front of the model and change whatever kind of display bone that you want. So yeah, and same goes to here. This one, I tried my best to make it from scratch and everything, and I still refer like this is made from scratch, but I did refer a lot from the original model itself. Like this is like 2 years ago that I made. 2 years, trying to make the model, trying to make the shape, Like I think I even struggle making the hair look like this. I'm just watching the comments. Right. So the second one is I can let me turn them off. The second one is this is subpainter. Mythical? No. Which one do I? Oh yeah, this thing. Yeah. Let's also bring out the old one as well. So this is the direct upgrade from this thing. I think I made this last year, I believe. Or was it early this year or something? But yeah, hell out of improvement, I guess. But yeah, the second way of making the model is rather than using the in-game model, just make it your own. You know, I know it does sound very difficult, but if you don't start from somewhere, you don't learn. You know, if you don't try it, you won't learn it. Oh wait, is this? Oh, this is hers. Why? Oh, this is also hers. I don't know why they're not connected. I'm gonna remove the pants. It's gonna be fine. It's she's wearing a bathing suit. So yeah, you kind of have to remake. Like imagine how the shape itself form. You know, you have to kind of make the basics of it. Like even this. Oh, not like that. Uh, what did I do? Oh, because I'm in that form. Okay. I'm trying to do this. Like even the thighs and everything, all of them started with a cylinder. Like even this, all of this was started as a cylinder, a square, um, a sphere, everything. If you don't start with anything, you won't learn anything. So yeah, let me put her pants on. There you go. Oh, the donut. Right. I know there's the old donut tutorial about the blend from Blender Guru. Honestly, I did watch the tutorial, but it wasn't for me. Um, I would say this: if you're trying to make a a model, you probably have to decide what's your end goal with making a model. Like it's like how you try if you try to draw something. Are you going to draw something realistic or something cartoonish? Or it's like what are you trying to do basically? What are you trying to learn? Like I'm not saying the donut tutorial is bad. It's just that the donut tutorial is mostly for Blender, like a 3D Blender generalist. It's like for general realistic kind of thing. Meanwhile, I want something that is more cartoonish and along a line with anime or something like that. So that's why even that's why I push myself on trying to color everything by hand. Like I drew everything with my mouse over here. all the small detail. Even though you scroll up like away, you won't see it. You won't see it unless you zoom closer. Yeah, come on, Sylvie. Not like that. And right. I can also show you guys this one. This one is a bit different because in terms of the shading, instead of draw, so like let me see. If I go back here, the difference is because this one is hand painted and I colored it inside of Blender. Meanwhile, this one is made in Blender, but the texture itself is in Substance Painter. So it has this shine and everything, this metallic look. It's just a default shader in Substance Painter, and just I just have happen to want to try it, but it wasn't for me. So that's why I went back with hand painted style. We have the sword that I made a while ago, while hunting blade with my own kind of design. But I know it looks weird, but there we go. Um, we are still on the second one. The second way of making the blender model. Like, oh, you have a concept. Like, for example, you have a concept of something. You just make it. You know, make a model. Yeah, make a robot model. I know this is not SK, but just try it out. Just make it. Um, it's better if you have a what do you call? It's like what Parma said. It's better if you have something that's already completed, and then you tear it apart and learn how to do it. That also works in this case. But eventually, you kind of have to make it yourself, and just learn it. Just learn how to do it, and just follow along a tutorial or something, and it will work out. Even this is something that I made. Like this thing I made without using any kind of cheating. Like for example, I want something smooth rather than using a subdivision surface. I literally smoothed it out with no, not that one. No, not that one as well. This thing smooth. So this thing smoothens the surface of the model itself. So rather than using a modifier, I use a manipulation tool instead. So it has this smoothness originally, and if I add more, it's gonna make it better. Except for the face, the face needs to have the subdivision. Because if not, it's gonna look. Uh, it still works, but it's a bit jagged here and there. So yeah. The third one is very experimental for me. This is the buff model that I make that I've been working for a while. This is the third one because this is more for trying to sculpt. I know sculpting is very high poly and everything. Like remove the bone. So this is my sculpt. The reason why I'm mentioning sculpt right now is because you have the freedom to make organic shapes. You can scrape the polygons and everything to make a shape and muscles and everything. But here's the thing that you might hate, that you might hate doing, um, which is trying to make sure that it works. Like since it is a high poly because it's a sculpt, like this is a bad thing if you're trying to put it in SK. You eventually have to um, remap it into a more low poly kind of thing. Reduce the um, amount, you know. Um, where's my collection again? Let me just control Z everything. Yep. So yeah, if you look here, this is more low poly than the previous one, but it does the work. Like again, if I want to make it smoother, just use subdivision. There you go. It's a bit smoother now, but it doesn't translate well with the detail that I made the sculpt. There's a way for you to transport the detail from the sculpt to a low poly one, but that's a bit more advanced than you basically bake the detail to a texture and then display it onto the low poly model for extra detail and stuff. But yeah, that's the third way of trying to make a model. But overall, if you're starting out, just stick with making just having a grab a model from the game and then add stuff to it. The rig I was going to talk about the rigging, but the rigging itself doesn't matter because when you try to mod something into SK, eventually the rigging the rig or the skeleton doesn't matter because you're gonna use the in-game version. Meaning like for example, if you have like the skirt, the no not skirt, the base model is the sarong one. You have to mod the sarong off, like this the skirt thing. You have to remove the added texture to make it invisible, and then you have to mod in a skirt, like a separate thing, separate it. Even this, separate them, and then have your origin or something like around here, and then have it so that when you're trying to connect something to a bone in a spy, it's gonna be easier, you know. So even you don't actually need the whole model. You just have to make sure it needs to be in pieces so that when you're in spy, you can reconnect to the right positions and to make it work. Like how the helmet needs to connect to the head, the arms needs to connect it to the left arm, and everything. That's pretty much it. And let me look at the question. Yeah, like reverse engineering the pre-made models. Yeah, like if you want to make like something simple, go ahead and use like a. So right, um, where is it? Where is it? Um, I mean, I shouldn't say it because if you wanna find a way to get the model, um, didn't Parma say it already how to get it, or was it somebody else instead? Um, I mean, I guess there is some way to get it. I guess Parma can answer it, but he's not here. So this tutorial pretty much tells you how the base of it. Trying to make it like for example, let me bring back the sword. Come on, come on. Yeah, there we go. So example, this thing, the wild hunting blade. I kind of want to show you how I made a demo of it. I mean, I could start now. Should I make a demo on how to make a wild hunting blade? Like right now? Right. Yeah, because this I already told you what I want to say. Literally the last thing is just the demo. Yeah. Okay. Um, I was thinking of just having a normal blade, like a kitchen knife or something. But sure, I can have this as what do you call? Just make a new one instead. So since I already make this, I'll grab it. I'll just put it somewhere instead. Go, go. Why are you struggling? There you go. Is it? Oh, it does turn off. That's the lighting. And you are the silkwing. All right. So now we're gonna start with the demo on how to make the sword or something. Again, if you want to learn how trying to make the sword work, you kind of have to imagine how the shape and everything works. So let's start with let's make the origin over here again. And I prefer using a cylinder instead of a cube because it has more edges and stuff. See, it has more edges here and there. Can I work with a 6? 6, 6. Or should I go with a 12? Mm, wait, no, no, no. You know what? Don't start with a cylinder. Don't start with a cylinder. You can start with a vertex, a literal 1 pixel. Yeah, there you go. Single vertex. Add a single vertex. There you go. This small thing right here. All right, I forgot to mention. For the camera mode, you have this thing that you can change the perspective. You know, change this perspective, the camera, and everything here. You can zoom in and stuff. You can grab. You have to add a camera. If uh yes, let me. Um, I'm gonna grab it here because I might since the vertex has no shape or like no form, it might be lost. So I'm gonna extrude a bit so that. But yeah, you have to have a camera like this camera over here. Grab it a bit, and this is the camera mode. You can change it around. You can have it so that you can move the camera and stuff. But yeah, it doesn't do anything pretty much. But yeah, we can remove that. And this is for changing this perspective, orthographic or the normal one. And since I was explaining this thing, right? You can also have the numpad. You can see up top over here. There's numpad 1, 2, 3, and everything. You can just change it. The only problem is it doesn't have a behind one, so you gotta still have to click on uh, this gizmo to have it go behind it. But yeah, you want a soup knife. You know what? I'm gonna combine a soup knife and one hunting blade together. Is that will that make you happy? It's like yep, choose perspective. I want this thing. So let me go back to the first one text. I prefer having wireframe on so I can see what I'm doing. Let me go back to having one vertex. See this one? It's this one vertex. I also have to turn it off. So pretty much, just start shaping it. Just getting the shape of the model. Start making it. Like don't mind the side view. Just if you have a reference, it's very good to make. Yeah, you're trying to start making the model and stuff. So it's all good. Um, like here to here, you want something over here. You can have click on the what do you call the line and search for subdivide. Subdivide is just making it like subdivided and stuff. Yeah, I know, crazy. If you subdivide it, you have more equally spreaded angles, and have this reduce a bit. Now you can have this um, make a blade. No, you. I guess I have to put it over here. Oh right, this thing sharp. What this is mostly how the proportional how everything is. Even I don't know how to explain it, but it's just how it reacts with the area of the model, of the vertices and stuff. You know, there's even random. I don't know why there's a random version of it, but you normally go with the smooth or linear or constant. It's up to you what you want. Yeah, turn it off. No, I don't want that. Here, there you go. That's the blade part of it. You know. I don't think a knife has a part where the this part over here, the handle, the blade guard. Is it called? What do you mean, Sylvia? I don't have a woman doing there. Let's just make a simple handle. I mean, we can do the handle later, but you know what? We'll do the handle later. So right. So if we move the camera a bit, we now have this kind of thing, right? So right, this part is the you know how the blade has this middle section, and here is the smaller part. You can just select everything, and then we press extrude, and then scale it down so that it goes inside of itself, and then grab it a bit, and then pull it down, something like that. But this is not what we want, I guess. We need something. We kind of need something else. Um, Drop it here. Yep. If possible, make sure everything is into a square, like like a square, so that it's easier to model it. It's not how do I say it. Sometimes people say it's better to just have it everything on squares rather than a triangle, because triangle will screw up some of your modeling because it's very unpredictable. Like you can see this line, this yellow line. Yeah, that's the flow, or the for me to add a loop cut. But if we have a triangle, like let me add a triangle just here. Now the line is cut. I can't go anymore. I can only put this. You can use this on some occasional thing. Like, I'm not a pro at this, but some people use this for trying to make like pointy part of it, like something like for muscles and stuff. You know, it is its own thing. Like every single part of this, like modeling, sculpting, UV editing. We're gonna go UV editing and texture later, but they have their own section of trying to learn how to make one by one. You know, so let's make a. We're almost there. Just connecting everything. Look over here. You can go with a triangle or you want to go with a square. It's really up to you. We can easily have a square, right? Wait, like right here. Yeah, like that. And then boom, it's a square now. But because it's gonna be fine, I think a triangle would fit in that position right there. So now we can move it closer to the middle point right here. Like you see the blue area right here. Yep. And since we wait, is that the middle point? I think that's the middle point. Yeah, that is the middle point. It's just this thing is not in the middle point. Um, we gonna change it. No, we gotta get out of the edit mode. Set the origin. Set the origin to the middle again. Set the origin to 3D cursor, and this is when you can add a modifier to have like a mirror modifier so that we can have a complete blade, you know? Or or you can be lazy, you have an add-on. You have an add-on, like for me, I have a auto mirror. There you go. It does the same thing, but it has the clipping and merge already take. That's the only thing that the add-on has, which is very funny. It's an add-on, rather than manually doing myself. It's just an add-on so that these two part are take on. I don't know why Blender doesn't have it already take on. So yeah. Now we're gonna add a what do you call a cylinder as a handle. Just grab a cylinder. A 12. Should I go with a 12 or should I go with a 6? I think 6 is gonna be. Yeah, 6 is better. There you go. Oh yeah. One other thing. When you're trying to model, it's better you think about separating the parts of a model rather than trying to combine it and have this perfect workflow kind of thing. Well, a working model like I did for the muscle model. I mean here, they needed to be connected so that when the shading will make it way perfect. And versus this one, Blender, yeah, it makes sense if this is separated because it's a robot. It, yeah, if it's mechanical, if it's sharp and everything, if you don't need the faces be like connected seamlessly, you can have it turn into a robot or something, so that there's edges, there's sharp uh, lines here and there, Yeah, but I think when you're trying to make a human, you kind of have to make it seamless, you know, so that there's no as if like your hand is splitted or something. But since we're making a sword, it's better just it's not complicated if you separate everything up. by pieces, you know. This thing also the mirror. Since this is its own thing, it's not connected to this. We are free to just position it. Grab it. Segments. Um, yeah. Wait, what am I grabbing? Yeah, there you go. Sorry if it's boring. It is a you know progress you kind of have to do bit by bit. I mean, it's not gonna be perfect, but to me, oh yeah. Now, I mean, it looks more like a machete now, though. Yeah, yeah. If you're making something, have some friends or have some music backgrounds while you do the modeling and stuff. But yeah, here we have the sword kind of thing. Let me move it a bit. Of course, you can what do you call make it better by improving the you know the smoothness on the blade itself. What do you call refine more about the topology or adding pieces and stuff. You can do a lot of things to make it better. But since this is simple kind of thing, you can change it a bit so that this part makes sense. Go. Um, Now we pretty much can go with UV editing. We can click here. Ignore this because this is a different kind of thing. So when you're texturing, you can easily use the same what do you call textures from the in-game ones. You can just have the in-game ones and just color it and stuff. Have an edit of that scale. But if you're making from scratch, you can just image new. We are gonna call it sword blade. There we go. And so pretty much this is very important because since you're trying to make a texture for a model that you're gonna mod into SK, you have to take care about this. If you put it 2K, it might work, but it might crash because the textures for SK is a bit lower. I think around 500 could work. 500 pixels, 524 or something, or 125. 125 is a bit low, to be honest, but yeah, it needs to be lower than 1,000. So yeah, I mean you could start with a 2K image texture when you're trying to texture it. and then when you're ready to mod it into SK, you're gonna reduce the resolution, but that will lower the quality, of course. You know. So now we have this square thing. So UV is basically a thing where you want to try to make sense of the shape that you're gonna make. Like you're trying to make this 3D into a plane, like a present, you know, where you're trying to box a present. You have 6 faces of it. Yeah. So if you press U, you can mark the seam, and let me here mark the seam. I'm gonna make this part where it cut. No, wait. Should I cut it over here? And I want to cut it right here as well. Mark seam. Also for the thing over here, we separate it here. Press U, mark seam. UV unwrapping is just a way for you to get ready for texturing. That's literally it. And I'm gonna have the midpoint around no, here, mark seam, right, go back. Right. So when you press this and then you go unwrap, there you go. You have an unwrapped version of this. So you can literally, like, if you don't wanna do that, you can unwrap and have smart UV. It will be smart and try to unwrap it by itself. You can do this, but I prefer my way of doing it by manually doing it. So no. Uh, so JKKJ. Oh, because I already know how to do it. So I this is like this is the normal UV unwrapping, like just having the shape like this. How I like to do it is doing square UV because it helps with the texturing later. We have square UVs. Okay, yeah, that's okay. This one, okay. You might think I'm doing this very fast because I've done this for I don't know how many years. I'm so used to it now. So there you go. We have a. So this is the blade right here. Now we're gonna do for the handle. See, it already has the thing. I'm gonna unwrap it. There we go. I mean, it's almost good. J. Uh, J. You can do that by just looking at over here. Um. So what I mean by JK and everything is pretty much transforming it so that it where's the thing? Where's the thing? Is it here? No. It's no, it's not unwrapped. I think it's something about aligning it to a axis. And so J is the horizontal one so that it be straight um horizontally, and K is the vertical one. So it makes it vertical. And if I do one face, I can just have follow active and have it everything is aligned. Yeah, very quick, very quickly. Um, you are very different. No, Yeah. There, there. Now, yep, there we go. Now we are done with the UV unwrapping. Yeah. Unmute. What do you mean unmute? I'll do the hand paint later, Twaggy. So yeah, this is pretty much that we're done with the UV unwrapping. Now to texture paint. Um, yeah. So what you're seeing is, like I said, is on a different kind of thing, like a what do you call a different model. I guess I could show it right now. A best way is pretty much the where's this one? Yeah. Oh damn! The sword is very. The sword is bigger than the yeah the robot that I made. Yeah, but let us see how this thing works. So if you look, this is the texture on this. Like it has the UV unwrapping. This is the chest arm base color. So what I did for this one is we're gonna go on node later on, but come on, Blender. Oh, there you go. Ignore this. Ignore that. Ignore everything over here. So you know how you can do the texturing everything in Photoshop in any other uh, drawing program rather than Blender? I made it so that I can do it inside of Blender natively. But to not make it difficult, just use Critica, just use what do you call substance painter, just use anything except this part. But it's using the same concept. I'm separating them by layers. So you can see the base color, the details, the what do you call the shadow color, the highlight, everything. And mind you, this took like a week to actually make thing work, you know. And this is only a portion of the model. Like this is only for the arm. There's other pieces, like of the model. There's so many pieces of the model that I have to do 7 things, like texturing it. I know it's a lot of work. I know, but don't worry. You kind of have to find a way to have this. But if you don't want to do it in Blender, just do it in Photoshop because you don't have to do this note setup. I just want to have this because the ability to just look at the model, like when I'm painting it, I can just paint it directly in the scene itself. That's why. That's why I went through the hassle. But yeah, that's we can safely combine these two into one thing. So we can change this into um knife. Yeah, call it a knife. So yep, let's go with we can make the same thing. All right, before that, we have to make sure that it has a material. Yeah, yeah, just let it have it. It's going to be fine. So we selected it. We can see the UVs. We have to make a new image. Yeah, it's gonna be small knife base. Yep, there we go. We now can, let me pull this up. Now we can literally do the coloring on the blade itself. I don't know what to color this, but it's really up to you how you want to do it. But I'll just do it like this. Oh, what? Missing textures detail. Oh, right. This thing. Right. Is because it needs a texture instead. So shift A. Yeah, this thing is also a hassle. You kind of have to find, you know, find a tutorial to do and stuff. Yeah. Let me find the knife base, and then just grab it and put it here. Then now we can see it. There you go. Yeah. Wait. Is it because? Oh yeah, because we're in erase mode. We're in erase mode. This is to. This is pretty much the eraser or something. You know. This the mix. We can change the colors and stuff. Oh, is it because the strength? Oh right. Change the strength. There you go. Now we have color. Have add some metallic. Like start with a coat, I guess. Yeah, there you go. We have something like a coat now. Now we can start with having it to draw and stuff. So since we know what color we have, we can instead of picking a color here, we can reduce it over here in the values. Saturation. I mean, it's not really a saturation kind of thing. Or just pick what color. This pretty much you have to find a color theory that works for you, you know? This is why I made it into a square UV so that it's easier to texture it. Yeah, you can scale it down. And then yeah, there you go. That's how simple it is. Oh, I forgot something. Auto smooth is your friend so that it has this smoothness. Go back to texture paint again. Yeah, yeah. There you go. It looks like a knife now, kinda, a bit. You could smooth it more by having smear. So you can change this strength or something. Oh, yeah. It bleeds out. That's a problem, but that's why I made, since this is just a basic tutorial. I'm not gonna show how, but I did show you how I made it so that it's like a layering system, like having layers above layers so that it doesn't connect everything. So yeah, again, then you kind of want to add some details, um, you know, so just start adding stuff. Just start doing it. It's really up to you. You kind of want to make it. Yeah, So, and yes, one more thing. When you're happy with the textures and everything, you can save it. You have to make sure you save it. Save as, or the other thing what you can do is, where is it? Um, oh no, not. You could save it right here. Save as, like, have a folder on what texture it is and everything, or you could go up here. There is a button to save all images right here. Quick note: if you click this, it's gonna save what you did for this texture. But if you want to pull it out, like pull this out from to put it into a mod, just do this. Save as and put it into a folder. And yeah, I mean, you don't need this because SK already has his own material system. But yeah, and then you can literally what do you call it, export it as a FBX, and you're done. That's the demo for the knife. Yeah, that's it. Any other questions? Any questions? Oh, there you go. How do we know how to properly define the texture lines on the left side for the game to read the mod? I guess texture line on the left side. Oh, this is because I'm using a mirror modifier. It's gonna be the same on this side because it's using this side. Um, I I think the mod will be fine because it uses the same, what do you call, UVs. Like if I do, like, for example, I I apply the mirror modifier, right? So it's now a solid thing, right? It's a solid thing. This side doesn't move and that side doesn't move, right? So if I go to the UV editing, so see here. So this is only, why is it not moving? Right. So yeah, it's like it overlaid onto itself, and that's not going to be a problem for modding purposes. But if you want to have, like, this side is a different letter and this side is a different thing, you kind of have to do it like this. You have to separate now. But because of that, see how the texture is weird now because we move the textures. So you have to so you have to separate it and have it its own space and then change the textures. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Faker is so right. Honestly, you really don't have to have to do it in squares. I do it in squares because of the Guilty Gear UV scare, so that so you know how you try to texture stuff and then you try to reduce the resolution. It will have this weird pixel thing. If you do squares, you won't have that issue. You won't have the problem with resolution if you're using squares because it's a straight line. It's evenly distributed, and it doesn't have this weird. This side is a bit more, and that side is a bit more. It's just a way of UV unwrapping. But if you don't want to UV unwrap, um, there you can have programs or add-ons to do it for you. Even every like if I go back to the add-ons, you can literally get every add-on to just make the model for you. Like even AI, like Blender also have AI for texturing. Like for example, you have a cube and you want it to be an air conditioner, and you just have to type in air conditioner outside, and it will generate the texture for you, and it's free. I think I don't know. Maybe I did saw that, but it it has its own quirk, you know. Yeah. Um. So add-ons. Normally, some of the add-ons you can get is already in Blender, but you have to activate them. Like for example, this one, extra object. No, Shift A, and then you have wait, where is it? Image, mesh, and then we have extra objects over here, like a rounded cube right here. And if we change it into a square sphere, so this is a bit different. This is a bit different than this one. See, see how the what do you call the mesh is a bit different. The I guess topology. The topology is its own thing, so I'm not gonna explain it. But yeah, see how everything is focused in this one point, and it's a triangle connected to here. Like it squares and then it goes here into a triangle. Meanwhile, here it's evenly distributed. Like it's all squares until you have this uh, triple connected space. I believe this is better for making certain parts than this one because it has triangles in it. And another way you can get add-on is literally from GitHub. Like for example, like even this one that I have, I got it from a GitHub Streamcast keys, and just download it and install it as an add-on, and boom, here it is. It is this. Yeah, no problem. It, I guess the worst, no, not the worst. The best advice I could say is, um, if you wanna learn something, it's very different from Spy Spy because Spy Spy doesn't have a tutorial or anything in YouTube except for specific like Airb or other tutorials and stuff. But if for Blender has a lot of tutorials. If you want to know something, you just search it up and you will learn something. So yeah, uh, pretty much that's it. That's all that I could lecture. Sorry that it takes more than 2 hours for this one. But yeah, yeah. If anybody wants to know more about Blender and how to make a model, or have a question in general about models and stuff, yeah, feel free to DM me or something. And be prepared. I prefer teaching share screen because I'm not gonna teach you using words because that's gonna be a pain. uh, you good to me? Yeah, no problem. Um, oh, that's a tough question. I mean, I don't mind, but it's really up to Parma if I am needed to. to lecture more something about a topic or something. Like I think Parma has to um, what do you call make a poll of something that I could help because um, since I am here to teach about to make a model, you know, the next person will be about um, what do you call spy, you know, trying to um, what do you call extract models and stuff. It's basically Janti, the creator, the guy who made the program, you know, or maybe it's I don't know. It's depend on them because we still have how many people? We have one, two, three. We still have three people that want to uh make up lectures and stuff. But if Parma needs another, like if Parma wants me to do another lecture, I'll be fine to do it. Yeah. Um, of course. Where's just a sec. Airb. So Airb is another legend in the community. Um, Let me find the video so that it will have. So right, if you scroll up in the Learn Blender with Fido, um, there's some stuff that you can see like up to the top. One is what do you call a link to a person's video, and it's Royal Sky. He's very good because when you want something, he's straight to the point. No like around the bush or anything. Straight to the point. 5 minute tutorial, and you're done. And the other one is a Froggy model. A Froggy model is very good because it's simple and it tells you a lot of how to learn, the easy ones. Here's from Airb. If you wanna export SK model, here you go, and it's a detailed one as well. Right. Any more questions before we end this lecture? All right. Okay. Then. Okay then. All right. That is all. I hope you guys. Yeah. If in the future, if you guys need any more help about Blender or 3D modeling, feel free to DM me or something, and we'll have a chat in Heaven or streaming or something. Seeing the problem. All right, that is all.